Okay, today I'm very happy to welcome a great actor and activist, Mr. Wayne Charles Baker. How are you, Mr. Wayne? Good morning.
I'm doing good. And you?
Everything is fine. It's a pleasure meeting you in this interview online. First, I want to tell you I've just seen last month's Welcome to Derry. Okay, and
Yes.
also I started to know more about your filmography and your work. But I want to know, in your own words, how did you get started in the film and
Yes.
television business? In your own words.
My own words. Repeat it again, please.
Yes, I wanted to know about your start in film and television. What can you tell me about it?
Oh, okay, good. Okay. When I started, I really wasn't even thinking about being an actor, even though I loved movies and I loved the old movie stars. My favorite was Lee Marvin and those kind of guys, Clint Eastwood. But I started at 39 years old, and um, and I was watching TV, and it was a series in Canada called North of 60. I know I've told this story many times, but anyway. So I was watching it and I was looking at the actors and what they were doing, and I said, geez, I could do that. So I decided to figure, well, yeah, that's one thing saying it. How do you go about it? So I was living in Vancouver. That's where I grew up. And I had access to a lot of acting classes. And so I started acting, took some acting classes and scene study classes, commercial classes. Then realized I wasn't too bad at it because I was comparing myself to the other actors in the class. I always sat back and I kept quiet. I didn't really step up. I just watched and learned. And then when my time came, I stepped in and did my stuff. So then I got right after that, I got probably about 6 months later, I got an agent. And about a year later, my first gig was on that show I was watching, North of 60. So that was when I realized I really liked it because I liked the atmosphere and the challenge and preparation for getting in behind the camera. And it can be nerve wracking, but it's a challenge. You got to get in there and deliver
Yes,
your lines and learn your lines and remember your line.
yes. But what was your character in
That's
that show?
My character was my first character was a Cree. It was in Alberta. I was a Cree. I guess you would call it a redneck, and he was sort of a guy that started trouble and picked a fight in a cafe. So that was my big scene. I had a fight scene in the cafe there.
Yes,
Yeah, that was
but
my first.
yes, I want to know when you started. You started in the 90s, right?
Yes, 97 around
Yes. Tell
97,
me,
96, 97.
yes, how do you see the evolvement of the Indian people and depiction and their characters during that time from the day you started until now? We are in 2026 right now.
Yeah, there's a big change, a huge change. Because now, back then, they didn't really uh, incorporate, well, like their knowledge of the culture and the language and the people there we were representing. It was just like go in and do your thing, and they didn't really know what they were doing. But now it's more of they're really concentrating on the culture and the language, heritage, and the storytelling to make it real as possible and not
Yes.
whitewash it.
Yes, but I want to ask you
Today's good.
today is better. I want to ask you because, of course, I was born in the 70s, but of course, when I started to do work on cinema and see classic films in the black and white era and the silent era, and in the 60s, maybe until the 60s, maybe there, they used to cast all the time the Indian people, the American, North American Indians as villains, and I think maybe the first film I see a real human depiction of Indians was Dances with Wolves, maybe. I went to see it when it was
Yeah,
new in
that
the city.
that was the first one. Yes,
I
and
seen
before that there was Little Big Man
Little Big Man,
with
Dustin
Chief.
Hoffman. Dustin Hoffman. It
Yeah,
was Dustin Hoffman.
Chief
Yeah,
Chief Man George. Yeah,
yes, yes.
and that was
But
kind of when I first started watching Indigenous.
yes, tell me,
And
yes, sir, go ahead.
yeah, and then of course came Dances with Wolves, and then you saw the human side of the Native American. Like, yeah, we're not savages, or yeah, that we're, we're people, we're human beings, and that was probably the first movie that really everybody that Indigenous like myself were kind of proud of to watch instead of
For
being
sure.
killed off.
Yes. Yes, but I want to know your Indian, your indigenous background, your tribal background. Tell me a little bit about the heritage, the habits, a little bit about it, because I think every indigenous tribe has his own heritage, culture, maybe religion, maybe prayers. What can you tell me about it?
Well, I'm I'm from West Coast. Okay, I'm from the West Coast. Is My mother's side is Quaguth from up the northern Vancouver Island, and my father's side is down in North Vancouver area, Squamish people. Both side, she was hereditary chief from the Quaguth tribe up in northern Vancouver Island area, and my father's side is a hereditary chief from Capilano tribe. And our languages was back two different languages they didn't really understand. But my mom is Raven clan. That's where we got our clan. So I'm Raven clan. And
Right
then
now, I want.
yeah, so we got
Mhm.
our names, and we don't just get our names like we have to have a potluck.
Yes,
So we have a
yes,
native names. We don't just get
sure.
handed to us. We have a potlatch, and it lasts for 3 days, and then
Yes,
we have a ceremony, and then we have
yes,
witnesses of our names. We get stand up, and then they tell us our new names.
yes. I saw last month Welcome to Derry. Every week I used to
Yeah.
because I saw the original. I think I saw most of the adaptation of Stephen King films and television, and also I saw the previous one, the miniseries with Tim Curry, and the two parts film remake, and this prequel. And I've seen your character and all the other Indian character. What I felt, and I hope you tell me about creating your character on the set in front of the camera. That the Indians were, a part of the ensemble piece of the whole ongoing drama. They were not like side characters, right?
Yes, the storyline
Hmm.
revolved around the tribe,
Hmm. Yes.
and yeah, I thought it was done very well. And
Yeah.
the robe that I wore, was actually from that tribe, so it
Yeah.
was done well. I was proud to be part of that program. So,
Yes. Yes. Tell me about also your character in Capitaine. What can you tell me about it?
1 second. I'm just going to open my door a little more.
Okay.
There.
Voila.
There. Good.
Yes, I'm asking you about Capitaine, about your character and the character you plays in Capitaine as well. What can you tell me about it?
Can you hear me?
Yes, but it's cutting a bit.
You there?
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you. It's cutting a bit, the Wi-Fi.
Cap- okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay. The Capitaine is my first lead in the movie,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and we filmed that up in northern Quebec. And
Yes.
it was now it's in the theaters in Montreal area, and it's we just got notice that it's accepted in the San Jose Film Festival, so we'll be going there, and so it'll be
Yes.
released across Canada soon, Vancouver, Toronto, and like I said, it was my first lead, and it had a lot of the Indigenous language in the film, and I had to learn all that language. It took time, but I did it, and I was kind of first of all, when I first read the script, I looked at it and I said, "Oh my God, how am I going to learn all this?" But it took time, but I managed, and then with coaching and Zoom meetings and so on and so on. So it's a good storyline and it's a good movie. So I really like my how it was done.
Yeah.
So the first time I watched it, I said to the director, I said, "Good job." He
Yes,
liked it.
sir. Yes, but tell me, right now you've been maybe approaching 30 years working in the business right now, 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
Do you have a dream project or a dream character or a dream story from your
Yeah.
heritage you would like to bring up on the screen?
Yes, I do. I would like to eventually write my own script and shoot
Yes.
my own movie down the road.
Hmm.
And I'm
Yes.
thinking maybe in 10 years, maybe start to work on it in 5. And the
Hmm.
other characters I would love to play is there's Native Americans that there's a like a Geronimo, Cochise,
Yes.
uh, those
Yes.
kind of storylines. I wouldn't mind and playing one of those guys in a historical movie.
Yes.
Yeah, so I look at the photographs of these chiefs, and I look at them. Geez, that guy looks like. I mean, I look like him. So that's my one of my major hopes coming up down the road.
Yes. Yes. You know, before American cinema, when I was a child, I used to read the French comics. You know, they are Belgian. Like
Yeah.
they did Tintin, they did the 13, which is Tres, a television series, and there was a magazine called Tintin Weekly in French, and we used to have an Egyptian Arabic edition. And they used, the comic writers used to have Indian characters starring. So even before American cinema, I remember there was a comic called Yakari about
Hmm.
yes, an Indian child, maybe 8 or 9 years doing adventure and talking to animals, and there was a very nice actually comics done by a French artist about a man who, it was something like Robert Redford film, Jeremiah Johnson, who left,
Yeah.
his community and lived above the mountain. It was a classic. And his this character name was Buddy
Yes.
Longwai. He was like an American, and he married an Indian, and their adventure used to be in the wilderness, facing the animals, the cold and hot weather, and I
Yes.
think they captivated this before American cinema and before American comics, because usually comics in America about superheroes, about human stories. Okay, so I used to read this all the time when I was a child.
Yes.
But
Exactly.
I want to ask you, beside acting right now, I've been reading that you do a lot of community activity. What can you tell me about that?
Oh, well, if there's a community event, I'll show up and help with it. And when I go
Yeah.
back home, if there's a potlatch, I'll try to show up for my family because I'm
Yes.
away from home now. I'm on the East Coast, and my real home is in the West Coast.
Yes, sir.
And so I've been away for a while. So to me, to get used to this new area here, it took a while. Like my wife's Mohawk, so I've been living in the community here with the Mohawks, and
Mm-hmm.
so I try to go to community events and whatever I can do to show support. But
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to tell you a little bit more about my other background is lacrosse
Mm-hmm.
game,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where I really thrived at as a younger man. And when I started playing lacrosse, I was 11, and I didn't stop playing till I was 43 years old at the highest level. But it was the training and involvement in winning 4 Canadian championships. I got 2 rings now, but the other 2 are over there. But
Yeah.
that experience helped me become an actor
Yes.
because being able to focus on. It has nothing to do with this. Huh? It has nothing to do with this. Okay. And so it became my focus is when I brought my lacrosse, I guess, experience being a professional, not drinking, not smoking, not doing
Yes.
drugs, and becoming
Yes.
a professional. And then when
Yes.
I got into acting, I took
Mm-hmm.
that same elements into my acting career.
Yes.
So so when I go into a set, I'm ready and I'm prepared. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. I'm there for the director and the
Focus.
producers.
Focus. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yesterday I was interviewing an actress as well from Canada, and she and her husband. Her name is Olga Montes, and she speaks French, Spanish, and she worked between Europe and Canada and the States, and she and her husband, they self-finance their films,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a script, they couldn't find financement, so she told me they transform it into a novel, and right now it's on Amazon until they find like financing for their dream project.
Oh,
I want to ask, yes, I want to ask you in your own words, since you are in Canada, what is the status right now of production in film and television? What can you tell me, especially for independent filmmakers, especially that you have your own ideas, your own scripts that you would like to bring to life in the future? What can you tell me?
well, I think it's. I was surprised how much it's thrived out here. Like even though there was a slowdown in production, but
Mhm.
I really got my foot in Quebec area,
Mhm.
my foot in the door, and I started working right away after like 2 years, 2 years ago, and
Yes,
I didn't realize there was so much work around here. Lucky enough, um, and then did you get all that?
yes, 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 I'm hearing you.
I was lucky that I got in
Yes.
Montreal and I did all the work on um, So I thought it's thriving pretty good. I just did a couple auditions just recently, and the last one I did is
Yes,
filming in the United States.
yes.
So I think it's good. I think it's doing
It's
pretty good
right.
because the movies I did was the Capitaine was
Yes.
independent. So yeah, they're
Yes, and it's getting released right now in cinema and festival. I hope and I wish you all the success in your upcoming projects in Capitan, and also I heard there is a second season of Welcome to Derry, so I hope you come back again as well.
I got my fingers crossed on that one too. Yeah.
I think it was very successful, and from my point of view, it was very well made. I mean,
Yes.
character-wise and suspense and horror, all the right elements were there, you know, and also the child actors were excellent. I loved them.
Oh yeah. I know. Eh?
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Wayne, for this lovely interview, and I hope we can meet one day in one festival, you know, to discuss more.
Okay. Sounds
And
good.
I wish you all the best in your upcoming projects, and finger crossed, you will get your scripts and your ideas, you know, to life, you know, and
One day.
I you will have my support for that, you know, and we will take them to here in Ecuador and to Egyptian festivals as well.
Oh, sweet. That's where you are in Ecuador?
Ecuador right now, yes,
Oh my God.
yes,
I was just in Tucson, Arizona at a film festival 2 days ago. I
yes,
got back.
yes. Yes, so really nice. Thank you again for the
Okay.
lovely live, and I hope you can come back again when you have a new project, sir. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Take care.
Okay. You too. Bye.